Okay, the learning target has been making comparisons with ratios and working with ratios, and ultimately a proportion is two ratios set equal to each other. So number one, a student has earned 239 points in a class. This is 53.1% of the points possible in the class. Notice it doesn't say the student has an F of 53.1%. We are asked solve the proportion x over 239 equals 46.9 over 53.1 and interpret the meaning of the solution. So what should be clear here? The first fraction has points. We know that right now 53.1% of the points possible have been earned. And we know the earned points. So obviously in the second fraction, we've stacked percentages. Okay, the idea is in the numerator then, what are those? These are points that could still be earned, that are still possible, maybe. That's assuming the student would have 100% on everything. And this is still possible. So when we write a proportion, we need to think about what is stacked in one fraction, what is stacked in another fraction, what is that, what in the one ratio is that proportional to the other ratio. So across the top of the ratios, we have the points still possible. If you do 100% minus 53.1%, you will get 46.9%. Then across the bottom, those are the points earned, and that is the percentage of the points that have been earned, or at least the points possible. Okay. Solving these ends up being, so if we do solve this, we are going to get the points that were possible yet. We will get the 46.9. We got two parts, part to part, with this proportion. So we grab our calculator. We are going to multiply 239 by 46.9. Get a really big number, 11,209.1, and then grab our calculator and divide by 53.1. So cross multiply and divide. X ends up being approximately 211 points. Are not yet earned. So again, really ask yourself what's on the top and bottom of the ratios, aka fractions. When we get to number 2, now 100%, this would be the total percent possible, which means this would be the total points. That's what X would be. This is the points so far. And this is the percent up to that point. So again, we're going to take a calculator. We're going to do 239 cross multiply by 100. You get an answer and divide it by 53.1. 239 times 100. That's actually easy mental math. 2,309, 23,900. Not that you really care about that much. And divided by 53.1. You get 450 points. I'll make that 4 a little bit neater, so everyone should have the correct answer on their entry tickets. So that is the total points. So number 3 asks, if only a 100-point final exam remains, what is the current grade? Well, if there's 450 points possible, the 100 points hasn't been calculated yet. Right now, the class is out of 350 points. So 239 divided by 350. Grab your calculator. Move the decimal over, it's about 68.3%. Okay, highest and lowest. We'll do the lowest. So lowest score the person can get, they could score nothing on the final exam. So they might stay at 239. In theory, they could score 0 on the final exam. And they are going to fail the course. 239 divided by 450 is about 53.1%. The highest, maybe they'll get all 100 points. Maybe they'll get all 100 points. So they would end up with 339 points out of 450. They'll get 75.3% approximately. And what must you score on the final exam to pass the class with a minimum of a 70% C-, which is what most college classes require of you. So ultimately, the way I would do this, I need 70 out of 100. And in the other fraction, we don't know the points that go with 8% of 70. We know that 450 out of 450 is the total points that goes with a total percentage of 100. Okay, so cross multiply 450 and 70. And then divide by 100. 315 points. And we can double check this. Out of 450 points equals the 70% minimum. And it's 0.7 on your calculator, slide the decimal over 2 times to get 70%. So most important thing that I want to illustrate on number 1, 2, and 5 that are going to show up on the upcoming quiz that we've been talking about is the idea: set up 2 ratios equal to each other, know what the information is in one of those ratios, and make sure you put corresponding information in the other ratio. Please do your best on the upcoming quiz today.